Narito ang programang totoong-totoo, Tambayan sa DWIZ. Programang magliliwanag ng ilang mahahalagang mga issue. Tambayan sa DWIZ. At ngayon, narito na sila upang maghatid ng saya sa bawat Pilipino. Sa programang Tambayan sa DWIZ.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning sa ating mga kaibigan, mga kapatid, mga laging kasama dyan sa ating pananghalian worldwide. And huwag natin kalimutan, Thursday ngayon. So ang susunod na programa ay In the Heart of Business. Sama si Ma'am Marupati. Pinapaalala ko lang para sa ating mga business. Maganda yung kasunod na programa. Natutuwa ko din sa programa nila.
Nakikinig ako dyan.
Kaya ngayon pala kasi sa start of our program, ipipindap na natin.
Yes.
Ang susunod na programa ay programa ni Ma'am Marupati,
In the Heart.
In the Heart of Business.
Yes.
Pero anong business natin ngayon?
Namimiss ko na yung Isaac.
Oo nga. Parang pumunta din sa sobrang traffic.
Sobrang traffic. Pero saan kaya yung bagong studio ng Teng-Teng-Teng?
Secret pa ba yan?
Secret pa ba yan?
Gawin natin Secret winner sa basic.
Oo nga, gawin natin yun siya.
Oo, tapos mag-online tayo. Tatlo ni Kuya Wheeler. Pati trabaho niya, papa-online natin.
Oo, para makita natin kasi.
Kung tayo may work from home.
May discussion naman tayo niya di ba, sa NTC, yung mga ganyan, broadcast. Kasi ba, yun naman ang natin.
Lisensyado yung mga mga technician natin.
Hindi naman yan siya pirate radio. Talking about pirate radio, di ba, there was a time in the Metro Manila na dinaha tayo ng over 100 pirate radio. About Pilipinas pa lang, Pilipinas. And most of them are found in...
Huwag na natin pag-usapan.
Sana may pagbabago na nangyari sa NTC.
Magkakaroon sana ng pagbabago. Kasi yung patakaran na pinagbawal or ni-restrict, no? Yung entry into this into the use of the national airways. Ay talagang hinigpitan ng panahon ni Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
Yes, Sr.
So ngayon na uupo na si Junior, ang tanong, sino bang may balls na patuloy na papaliwalain yung mga standing na presidential decrees at standing na patakaran na hindi na-implement? Which allowed for the entry of this pirate stuff.
Not only that, hindi lang yung pag-implement o pag-execute ng mga batas na yun, may sense naman, may purpose. Ito yung reflective ng policies ng US, di ba, ng mga ibang bansa, na sa atin na nagkataon lang na executive order, presidential decree yan Ferdinand Marcos.
Presidential decree?
They are laws. The problem there is that the hegemony, yung pag halos monopolize ng informasyon sa source ng information after Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was ousted, concentrated on vilifying, di ba? Ginawang masama lahat ng tungkol kay Marcos. Or ginawang masama.
Lahat ng kumbaga yung kapaligtaran nun.
So even those laws na maganda, na merong objective, na meron talagang siyang function, ay hindi nagawa only because it was done by Ferdinand Marcos Sr.
Only side, but sa totoo lang, one time I was just curious, no? Tinignan ko yung mga dates kung kailan ginawa yung mga presidential decree. There were days na 10 yung presidential decree.
That's right.
Kasi imposible na si Marcos ang nagsulat nun. Lahat.
Hindi actually siya ang lahat ng sumulat yan.
Ay mga team yan.
For sure, si Enrile may ginawa. Meron yung economist, may isang ginawa. Meron din si Blas Ople. Siya gumawa ng labor code.
So in other words, pinalitan niya lang yung grupo ng mga elected na congressman na ayaw gumawa ng mga batas na kailangan at the time by technocrats. No, yun yung terminology, technocrats. Mga matatalino, hindi na-elect at hindi tumakbo. Pero alam nila yung solusyon sa problema. At ang kagandahan nun, si President Ferdinand Marcos, kung titingnan mo yung kanyang mga tauhan sa paligid niya, yung kabinete, yung hindi siya masyadong yung tinitingnan yung edad, yung
wala siyang pakialam sa edad.
Yung contact, yung background mo, kung sinong backer mo, hindi. Basta magaling ka, may lugar ka dito sa gobyernong to.
Sige, yun na lang yung pag-usapan natin in relation to how communication, mass communication in this country was implemented or handled since Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was ousted. Okay. Because ang problema kasi ngayon, and this is the problem founding Attorney Cruz as being the incoming press secretary. Itong discussion or the mere mention of Marcos martial law years. Okay. Ang napapansin ko, and it has been the situation with me since childhood until about 4 years ago, 6 years ago, na ang naalala ko lang tungkol kay Ferdinand Marcos, which is fitting, is yung martial law lang and not even much of it. Kasi I was born in 1975, so I couldn't really train to know what started the martial law and that. But ang narrative na gustong i-maintain na ngayon naman tinitibag pero gustong i-maintain and desperately hold on to, hanging on to this narrative, yung mga dilaw, mga pink, ay martial law lang talaga ang administration Marcos. Wala naman. Because just all Marcos senior's administration was just that martial law era, that martial law time. It does not mention that there was how many years before that. I think that martial law was not in effect.
In verse is this part, when it is taught, kapag tinuturo yung martial law sa atin, kung paano siya tinuro sa atin, lalo na ako, mas bata ako sa'yo, kung 1975 ako, 1977. No? So, tayo ng mga inabutan, nung martial law, inabutan natin yan.
We were children.
And din yung tinuro sa atin sa eskwelahan, walang basis ang pag-impose nito.
Walang basis, it was just a president that suddenly martial law ko because I want to stay in power forever.
That is how it is.
Which is complete lie. Now, yan ang gusto nila. Natatawagin kang sinungaling boto ko sa magnanakaw. And that is the very beginning of the narrative. Yan yung introduction ng narrative.
Yes. And it begins with nandaya for re-election kasi at the time, pwede magpa-re-elect ang presidente once, no? Parang American system. Siyang re-election. Si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. was the only president who got re-elected.
Yes.
So ang press release, or hindi ito press release, ang nasa libro is nandaya sa election na yun, and then nag-impose siya ng martial law para hindi na siya mapalis.
Which is yan yung pinaka-foundation ng buong storya ng martial law.
Samantalang, yung presidential decree, yung presidential decree, yung Proclamation 1081, tama ba? 1081, na nag-declare ng martial law. Curiously, ako, kahit nung nag-aral ako ng law, kahit na before that, it took me about mga last year na I had the curiosity of
read all of this. That's right.
Proclamation 1081. And ang sabi kasi noon sa akin, nakasaktak sa utak ko that Proclamation 1081 is a complete farce. At nung binasa ko, and then I correlated it with information that I got later on, these are all true. Yung papasok ng bako na dinidibig na, yung bako na puno ng baril.
Oo. Doon sa lingyan mo.
Hindi daw totoo yan. So, ang sinasabi nila walang basis yung pag-ano.
But it was true.
Oo. So, yun yung mga challenge ng education system. And Sarah will put that, no? To bring the truth back.
Okay. Ito ang point ko dyan. Ang tao, as reflected by JP and myself, okay, there is this history of the martial law years. Na tinuro sa atin sa eskwela, and then we just accepted it. We accepted this man is evil, that during that time, everyone was oppressed, every single one of them, except for the cronies. They didn't even explain kung ano yung cronies na ito. I mean, ang dami-daming kumatawag sa akin ngayon ng crony daw ako. And when I ask them, do you know what it means? Hindi na sasagot, gumurahing iba-block lang.
Pulmonary disease.
So, crony, martial law years, it was taught to us in school. Okay? Even our parents believed and were against it. Okay? And they were also remiss in explaining to us why it happened, why it had to happen, and why certain people were put in a really bad situation and certain people were not, and how many were actually subject to the oppression and the hardship, difficulty of the martial law years. Hindi yan pinaliwanag sa atin. And ang tendency natin, hindi tayo nagre-research ng sarili natin. Si JP sinabi niya, last year lang daw, inaral ng 1081. Ako, inaral ko in 1998 when I entered law school, but I still didn't stick in my head to see na 1081, binasa ko lang yan in isolation, connect it with everything else that I know. So, ang sa akin na, ito sa martial law, aksidente ito, ganito ganyan. I didn't see the need to interconnect it with other information na Jabi the Massacre, MNLF, NPA, all I saw was namatay si Dinoy, and we had now the chance to remove this evil, satanic despot. And we were so happy. And after EDSA, still nothing was told to us. Nothing was still explained to us. Hanggang ngayon.
Natuloy-tuloy is also that the whole martial law era was based on the wrong premise, was reinforced so much so that it took even me, took me years to unlearn. Took me years to unlearn. Alam niyo yung word na unlearn? Una ko yung na-encounter nung nasa UP ako, alam niyo yung pasok ka ng UP, galing ka sa probinsya, alam mo ikaw yung pinakamatalino sa buong mundo eh.
Which is true.
Diba?
Mundo mo kasi maliit lang.
I was, masama pa nga loob ko kasi sa tutorial ako. Kahit sinong tanongin mo sa batch namin, dapat ako ang valedictorian. So, ganun lang katalino sa palagay ko. Pagpasok ko ng UP,
diba? Pareho lang kami lahat.
Hindi nga yun. Naubos lahat ng staff knowledge ko.
Oo nga.
So, okay. Luckily for me, I had grudge, kasi bawal sa UP pumasok ng frat ng first year.
Bawal.
Pero ako, meron akong, sa frat namin, sa International Order of Demon, high school pa lang ako pumasok. So may grudge kaagad ako na mas patanda sa akin at yun yung nagpakilala sa akin ng word na unlearn. So kumbaga, hindi ako na-shock masyado kasi ang iba dyan, yun yung cause na nagsusuicide, nagiging depressed.
Culture shock.
Alam mo, ikaw yung pinakamatalino. Tapos pagdating mo din, ordinaryo lang pala ako.
Pareho lang pala kaming zero dito.
Kasi lahat pala ng mga class ko dito matatalino. Unlike yung papasok sa ibang university na hindi sinasala masyado, no? Kumbaga, kung may pambayad ka na ng tuition, makakapasok ka.
Pasok ka na.
So, kung matalino ka ng dati, kasama pa rin yung mga iba yung papasok sa UP.
Iba.
Kasi, lahat ng papasok doon, kasing talino mo. At pareho na kayo, parang kang nasa NLEX. Tumatakbo pa yan lahat ng 100. Kapag kiramdam mo, pakailangan yung lahat.
Totoo yan.
Diba? Kasi, mabilis sa'yo lahat.
Kaya mag-overhits ka.
Subukan mo, takbo-takbo ng 80 o 100 sa EDSA. O di ang bilis mo. Pero subukan mo, dalhin mo yung 80 o 100 sa NLEX. Wala ka. Bilisihan ka pa.
Sisitayin ka.
Diba? Ganun lang din yun. So, yung word na unlearn, yung necessity to unlearn, I saw the value of that thing early on. And in this topic na martial law na pinag-uusapan natin,
that is the first thing that we have to do.
It took me years to see the need to unlearn. Diba? Kasi unlearning is a process na hindi ito tinuturo eh. You have to see the need na okay, ito yung alam ko. Alam mo ba ang pinakamahirap sa lahat ng bagay na gawin? Yung akala mo may alam ka, tapos makita mo,
suddenly you realize,
wipe out ko kaya yung alam ko, erase ko kaya, erase.
Ano basis for all these beliefs?
I learned it again. Ang hirap niyan.
That is why, in connection to that, kasi there is so much clamor to oppose this kind of rediscovery of the martial law era, ay tinatawag nila itong revisionism, historical revisionism, which is, my opinion, so completely wrong. Bakit? Because revisionism, in the first place, is not wrong. Okay? That is why we have a concept of unlearning and relearning, kasi we are allowed to revise our own beliefs about some things. And in this case, we talk about history, we have the right to unlearn what we think we already knew and to know them, to relearn them again, but this time critically. Okay? That we will have a foundation for each belief from now on, that we will relearn about martial law, that each tidbit of it has a foundation in fact. Okay, so hindi problema ang revision. Hindi problema ang relearning. Ang problema, if you just unlearn your belief in martial law and then just completely swallow a new story without your own critical analysis of it first. Okay? Ang importante na you will relearn martial law era, but this time based on your own judgment of the truth, okay? Based on facts, that we should be allowed to read, to hear, to watch other opinions of what happened during the martial law era, para tayo ang magpagawa ng ating desisyon kung totoo ba ito para sa atin o hindi. And that is the process now of relearning. That is also the challenge. Kanina may challenge si JP, kaya Vice President incoming Southern President, meron din akong challenge kay Trixie Cruz Angeles. And this one, to foster this system, to find a protective mechanism for this system to develop, hindi tayo tinitingnan na masama, bobo, o revisionist. By defining all of these things, what is a revisionist? What is unlearning and relearning? And what is a foundationalist system of beliefs and truths? Para ma-empower ang mga tao on what critical analysis and critical thinking is all about, because sabi ko sa inyo, yung mga taong nagreklamo ng revisionism, nagreklamo na never again, huwag kalimutan ang martial law. Bumili na kayo ng mga libro about martial law dahil buburahin ni na Marcos yan. Buburahin ni na JP Barrera, paglinawan ng Angeles yan. I tell you now, that's a lie. That's a complete lie. And they don't have any proof for that.
Okay. Hindi lang siguro based on opinion and but facts.
Exactly.
Facts, no? Facts that were superseded by opinion. No? Kumbaga, we need to correct certain information na inculcate sa mga utak natin through our education, which I claim. Now, we, you, me, we were all subjected. Ito yung mga tinuro sa atin. And ang question is why? What's in it for us? No? Why do we need para ba yan maging smooth sailing yung presidency ng Marcos? No, senor.
It is for your own welfare and moving on in your life.
Precisely because of one, okay, sabi rin sa ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paruroonan. As long as we do not understand our history correctly, and this is part of our history, not only the Marcos era, yung ang kailangan ng revision, but all the way back.
Everything, the Spanish era.
If we do not understand all of those things, we will not understand ourselves as a nation. Second, alam niyo ba isang direct effect nito? Maintindihan natin kung gaano ka-rigid yung communist movement na yan. Kasi yan talaga, bakit? Hindi deklara yung martial law. Hindi si Marcos nagdeklara ng martial law. Dahil gusto niya.
So, bakit gusto niya manatili sa power?
No,
who does that? Who wants that?
No, senyor. So, mga kaibigan, meron po tayong makukuhang aral at meron tayong mapupulot na kabutihan kapag ginawa natin to hindi lang bilang individual but kabuuan, no? Na i-open natin kung usapin. Ano ba nangyari doon?
Okay. Now, going to that, merong mga yung press release ni BBM, yung kanyang press briefing, I think the second one or on the second day. Yung tinanong na sinabi na ni Trixie Cruz analyst na usually allowed to debate on things. And merong nag-react na itong mga dilaw na, I mean, they are not journalists anymore. They are now the peddlers of the old story that they call facts, that they call truth. But again, critical analysis, critical thinking, how did it become fact? These people will just say this is facts. Itong JC Tambayan, who was not even born during that time. This is a child, and siguro pinanganak ko, I don't know. I am older than this guy, so I am sure. And hindi ko pinanganak before martial law was there. And he says that things, these are facts, that hindi ko pwedeng dimatiin. Ang sinasabi ko, that's not your fault.
Sabi nga ni Johnny Depp.
That's not your fault.
Sabi nga ni Johnny Depp, minsan abogado, di ba? Kung question siya, nung araw na lasing siya sa korte, sinagot ni Johnny Depp. Were you there?
Exactly. That is not your fault.
Abogado ka ba tayo? Hindi ko pala.
Okay. My point. That is not your fault. I wasn't there. You were not there. You cannot tell me what the hell fact is all about that is martial law. It is up to me to decide based on my relearning of what happened then and based on our freedom and proliferation and plurality of opinions that is made available to me about that time, pro-Marcos, against Marcos, NPA, they should be made available to me and I should be able to debate with this, to interrogate, to examine this information by giving me that chance to do my own research and to decide, finally, this Mr. JC Tambayan and Mr. Luke Espiritu, okay, finally, to make my own decision about what is fact about martial law for me. That is not your call. You do not know anything about what is fact or what is fiction about martial law. Because you were not there, everyone. Okay? Tandaan niyo yan. Kasi philosopher ako. I graduated cum laude.
Magna.
Okay. Magna. Magna ako.
Wait a minute.
Philosopher ako, I know this. I know epistemology. I know metaphysics. I know the philosophy of language and science. And
we know carpentry.
I know carpentry. But I will tell you my grades in philosophy, parang ang naglagay ng grabe sa transcript ko, parang nagkuha ng ruler, pero sinulat ng pagbawa. Ganyan lang. Mr. JC Tambayan.
Okay.
Mr. Luke Espiritu.
Okay.
Kayo masyadong fact yan.
Okay. So, stick to the facts. That I'm aged, 12-28, pero bigyan natin ng para mas matagal yung ating second half. Yung pauna natin yung winner yung address. So, yung address yung winner at saka yung just break. Para second round natin, mas mababa. So, abangan nyo ha. Una, in the heart of business. Pero hindi pa yun. Nagbabalik pa ng bayan pa tapos ito.
Muli nating balikan Tambayan sa DWIZ.
Tama ang oras natin.
35.
Yes, sir.
Lagi na lang kasi medyo iting yung ating second half. So now we have 25 minutes to finish this program. In the heart
of business.
Bakit na natin pinopromote? Because this business talaga yung buhay natin. Lalo na ngayon na medyo apektado tayo sa maraming bagay, no? Sa ating buhay-buhay dahil sa taas ng presyo ng gasolina.
And tumaas din talaga yung presyo ng bilihin ng pagkain.
Dahil sa gasolina.
Dahil sa gasolina.
Oh.
And yung medyo fog of the election na hysteria, nakalimutan natin na mamahal pala. Tapos ngayon, tapos ng election and then suddenly na rin, what? Mahal.
Yan ba na-explain sa atin na mabuti? Na yung relasyon ng supply and demand ng gasolina versus the influx of money na pumasok ng eleksyon. So when you have too much money, you have restriction in your supply, you have too much money, you will have high demand, you will have high prices.
Meron kasi iba pang solusyon para i-explain kung bakit ang mahal eh. Si Marcos na kasi presidente. Ito ang gobyerno ni Duterte, gobyerno ni Marcos.
Hindi ko napatito yung pagtaas ng PhilHealth premium dahil kay Marcos.
Dahil kay Duterte, mahal lahat ng biglang nagmahal ang mga pilihin niya.
Yun. So why are we talking about that? No? Pag napapanood mo si Presidente Duterte sa mga talk na wala masyadong sumusubaybay, no? Kung tingnan ko nga yung viewers, hindi na masyadong mataas eh. Hindi kasing taas ng dati. Si Duterte always talks about war in Ukraine. But our media doesn't. So our people, our normal listeners, yung ating mga kababayan na nandiyan yan sa laylayan, sabi nga nila, na nagbigay naman nila, parang feeling nila, this word na to si Duterte, parang out of touch. Kasi ang alam nila kung bakit mataas yung presyo ng gasolina ay dahil sa pamubulahon nitong Big Three, at saka yung corruption, at saka yung pagsakay sa diba? Ito yung sinasabi natin, unlearn.
Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung paniwala dyan.
This is, yung process ng pagbubog sa atin ng disinformation happens daily. Okay?
And how?
And the media is a very strong player in this one. Ever since.
Ayaw nilang tawagin natin silang misinformation, disinformation. Kasi hindi naman disinformation yung kanilang news. There is some truth to it. But, okay, where is the disinformation there? In the selection of these things and in the editorial, and in the making it appear, okay, in the ordering of these things and then the editorial part, yung mga komentaryo, itong mga anchor, yun yung misinformation. Bakit? Kasi, sana nga lang ang naririnig mo, okay lang kung ganyan sila. Okay, meron silang facts na news na undoubtedly, ang facts naman na they observed it, they see it, when it happened there. Nakikita nila yan. Pero now, the meta story, okay, the underlying story to it, that is the editorial, okay? That's the way they chose what to broadcast as news, and then in editorializing kung anong pagkomentaryo ulit.
Sundan mo yung interview ng mga leader ng transport groups, tapos ang gagawin topic after the news na mataas yung presyo ng gasolina ay yung excise tax at saka yung administrasyon kung anong ginagawa nito o yung gusto nilang gawin ng administrasyon. It will appear na kasalanan ng administrasyon kung bakit mataas yung gasolina. Yes. But not going deeper into why.
Why? Because they can't. They don't know.
They know.
They will never know. No, because they already just chose a story. They chose an explanation for everything that's going on. And they will never have the sense of telling you the other side. Because they do not know the other side. They do not want to listen to it.
They will tell you na, hindi naman tayo bumibili ng island sa Russia. Okay, hindi tayo bumibili ng langis sa Russia, pero lahat ng dating bumibili ng langis sa Russia, kasama na natin bumibili ng langis dun sa binibilhan natin ng langis, di tumataas yung presyo doon. Ayun,
Madami na
yung pag-uusapan. At ganun din topic natin kanina about our history. And it happened this time,
every single thing.
Noon pa, mula noon na lahat ng mga pangyayari, binabago yung perspective.
Isa lang ang istorya kasi nila. Lahat ng radio station, lahat ng TV stations, when Cory sat, right after Ed sat, was pro-Cory. Because everyone who was against her was evil. Was a crony.
Bigay kita ng example about that, no? About yung post-Cory. Meron akong mga nakakasalamuhan ng mga pinklawan na mga ka-close ko, na who would argue with me that the unity na campaign team ng BBM is absurd and doesn't mean anything.
Why?
Sabi ko, unity is something that can be defined. It is in the dictionary. I'm using Wittgenstein here. Diba? Language game. If the word can be defined, then there can be good communication.
Yes, and
in fact, what I cannot understand is what is kulay na rosas sa kinabukasan. Yan ang walang definition. But they would argue, let's go ahead about it. Pero, ililing ko lang sa sinasabi ng story. Hindi na maintindihan sa ngayon yung word na unity, pero pagkatapos ng EDSA, ano ang tinuro sa atin at kinakanta natin at sinasayaw natin? Mag-isa. Di ba hindi siya ganun?
Oo, unity.
So, bakit maintindihan mo
noon
yung
Tagalog
magkaisa at yung unity ay hindi?
At bakit? Kasi Marcos ang magsasabi.
So, kung ang nagsasabi ng unity ay itong kabilang size, maintindihan mo.
Ano tawag ng prejudice? Hindi naman yata, prejudice.
Refusing to understand.
Why? Because not because of the message, not because you do not know what it means, but because the messenger is someone you hate from the past.
Then, the time kay Church Makluhan. The medyo message. Alam mo yung mga natin dito, no? Yung mga mascom dyan. Alam nyo, kaming attorney, we are untrained. We are not mascom people.
That is why.
But talk to us about anything.
Talk to us about anything and even about truth.
About God.
About God.
About the devil.
About the devil.
Or about
what is
wrong. Or about your wife.
About your wife. Talk to us about your wife.
We will probably not know anything about it. Alam niyo po, ipigil sila na kasi yung tanggalin mo muna yung alam mo ito.
Bias.
Bakit?
Everything, phenomenology.
Kasi ito yung challenge natin in the next, for the next generation. No. Not for our generation. Yung mga kaibigan natin nakikinig dyan sa taxi, sa ano. Kalimutan na natin sarili natin. Wala tayong pag-asa. Sa pupulang wala na tayong pag-asa.
Wala na tayong pag-asa, but we have the challenge is to start it now.
Yes, we have the obligation para sa mga anak natin. Ayusin natin para sa kanila. Okay? We should stop thinking now na alam natin yung katotohanan. Once we stop doing that, na meron tayong mga hinakaon na ito lang yun, alam, at ipapasa natin yun sa mga anak natin, we are passing on trash.
What are we saying? What we are saying is, after you unlearn what you think you knew about martial law and the history and everything that happens in this country, we are not saying na paniwalaan mo yung kabilang storya. Ang sinasabi lang namin ay maniwala ka kapag may istorya at makita mo yan at maniwala ka lang kapag meron kang justification sa pinapaniwalaan mo on your own, that you can justify to yourself that this belief is based on a fact, is based on an opinion that many people also believe in. Kasi ang nangyayari, naniniwala tayo sa story ng martial law not because of our own satisfaction of our need to see the foundation for our beliefs, but because many are believing in it, and that's the only reason why we believe. And these journalists, they call it a fact. That is not a fact. It may be a fact, but you do not have the justification to call it that. I will only say that something is a fact, and it could be the same. Pareho tayo ng storya. You call it a fact, I will call it a fact later on after I analyze it and I re-examine it. But the difference between us is that you believe, because many people believe it, and many yellows and pinks believe it, and I believe because I am convinced myself, based on what I have researched, that this is in fact a better truth.
Yes. But yung isa din kasi na punto kung bakit mahalaga itong subject na ito, is yung ating paniniwala na there are things in the past shouldn't be repeated. Alam niyo po, there is only one thing sure in this life. History repeats itself.
It will.
Diba? And if you try to, if you try even try to,
it's a meaningless statement.
If you even try to avoid that history repeating itself, my God, you're trying to stop the tidal wave. Diba? A tidal wave yung parating, mangyayari yan.
Nakikita mo?
Pag mangyayari yan, wala kang magagawa mangyayari.
Nakikita mo, yung never again to martial law is a very potent brainwashing tool. Bakit? Because there is an adage that says history repeats itself.
That is true na never again talaga ang posisyon nitong mga ano. Bakit yung ginawa nila ng 1986 Constitution? Nilagay pa rin nila sa Constitution yung power of martial law.
Exactly.
Because it is important. So, in other words, ganito yan. We don't need to make value judgments about our historical past. Ito importante. Hindi natin kailangan gawa ng
kasi yun yung
good bad.
Yun yung revisionism. When you attach a judgment to the new conclusions that you make out of re-examining the past, okay? Pag naglagay ka ng value judgment, then mabuti pala ito, mali pala ito, evil itong ako because I re-examine and iba yung story. Hindi. We just re-examine the past for the facts, for our foundation of our beliefs. We cannot use it for our value judgments and to say which is evil and what is good and what's bad right now and going forward. Kasi yan yung revisionism. That is the negativist revisionism. Na babaguhin mo yung buong mundo ngayon by changing the story in the past to support what your conclusion is right now, especially when it is about things that will affect you. Diba? Eh, hindi yan yung revisionism. Ang hindi ang revisionism na sinasabi natin, which is what we really need to do, and it's an obligation, is to re-examine things to be justifiably to us, to each and every one of us. We do not care kung ilan ang maniniwala dito. Basta ako, convinced ako, based on my analysis.
So, kung susumahin natin ito, and I just thought of it right now. Sa theoretical plane, attorney, mga kaibigan, kung si Attorney Ahmed is saying na we are not revisionism, then what are we? Siguro ang aming pinopropose is not revisionism, but objectivism. Objectivism. Kasi ang pagkaturo sa atin ng kasaysayan has been so subjective. Okay? Una, may subjective na pinason through our teachers na kailangan ganito ang yung opinion para sa ganitong pangyayari sa ating kasaysayan. Subjective na yon from the very source, and subjective na pinipilit sa'yo na ganun yung kailangan na tamang sagot. Na pag nagsasagot ka na ang pananakot ng Espanya sa Pilipinas ay maganda, ang grade mo doon ay 0. At kapag nagsabi ka na ang pananakot ng Pilipinas ay isang madilim na parte ng ating kasaysayan, ang
mali ka, simple.
Tama ka.
Kaya nag-rebel din siya na say.
That is subjectivism. So what they're trying to propose is objectivism.
Well, para sa akin, is what is objective and subjective is only relevant when you have to make a value judgment of something in the present right now. So I have to know which is objective right here. Pero pag tinitingnan natin yung nakaraan na, okay, facts at the moment, in the present, they should be facts to many. Para ito ang pwede natin piliin na ito yung totoo, ito yung susundin natin. And that's what's going on in litigation, sa kaso. In cases, criminal cases, civil cases, hindi ho truth ang hinahanap dyan. Facts ang hinahanap dyan. And facts and truth are two different things. In facts, what can be considered a fact is it's a relationship. There is a statement, there is a phone on table. That is the statement. It will be a fact if it has a relationship with a real state of affairs na totoo sa mundo na gumaganda siya. Okay? Meron nga naman table, nakikita ko. That is a fact. Okay? But that is not the truth. Because the truth is a general, bigger relationship that has something to do with the validity of your statement and its truth in every sense of the word. That is why truth is immutable, and that is why very few truths are considered to be discovered by human beings. We cannot know the absolute truth because many people say there is none. Okay, so now, papasok yung hindi importante ang truth, ang fact, sa pag-re-examine natin ng past. Okay? Hindi importante yan. Ang importante, nangyari hindi importante ang truth. Ang fact, ang importante na nangyari ba ito, may ebidensya ba dito? And even then, depende kung sino ang nagkikwento. Kasi, para sa isang tao na hindi inapi ng martial law, hindi ko fact na may pang-aapi na nangyayari and massive. No martial law. So, see, kung hindi tama na iba ka lang ng tao, nagkaiba na rin ang meaning ng fact para sa'yo.
Sige, lagay natin ngayon sa isang usapin na maintindihan ng ating mga kaibigan na nakikinig dyan. Okay? Ganito na lang po. Ako, I grew up in a family na anti-martial law, anti-Marcos. I grew up with that kind of thinking. And I admit, until just recently, nung ako mismo ang naghanap ng informasyon at ng facts, yung sinasabi mo, doon lang nagbago yung aking pananaw. Okay? Now, given that, ganito na lang yung aking challenge sa inyo. Tingnan niyo yung buhay ng mga magulang. Nakapagtayo sila ng bahay, di ba? Noong panahon ng martial law. Or yung lolo.
Nakapag-aral lamang kayo.
Ikaw.
Inapya ba?
No. Ikaw, sa ngayon. At the age that your father or your grandfather during martial law bought the house, built a house, at around 30-something.
37 ang malaki.
Yun yung pinag-awayan nyo sa inyong mana ngayon. Kayo.
They had a house at 37.
Under the democracy that you think you have. Under the freedom that you think you have.
Where are you?
Where are you? Compared to your parents. In the 1970s.
May martial law na.
Nung panahon ng martial law. Where are you?
That is the question.
Diba? Probably some of you may say I'm better off than my father or my other. Then good for you. But many of us, wala tayong sinabi sa mga tatay at lolo natin. Hindi sinasabi na wala.
And most of the time talaga, yung mga parents natin, even in their own time, na para sa atin ay sobrang hirap, we didn't find it very good. They had to fight martial law not because they were personally persecuted. I'm not saying na walang na-persecute ng mga panahon yan because my parents were hunted by the military. Against din po ako sa martial law. Against din po ako sa Marcos na I am a victim of that in a sense that I had no parents growing up. Because
your parents were put to the life. It was that they had to fight.
No, they did not believe in the story of Korea. They were just really communist, and they believed Thomas Edison and Karl Marx and Mao Zedong and all that shit. And I also believe that I am myself a communist, but I am not a communist in the Filipino sense. That the communist here in this country belonging to the NPA and believing Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is a moron. He does not know anything about communism.
He's not fighting for communism.
He is not even fighting for it. He is not even here. So, he is not a Filipino
fighting for anything.
I am an anarchist. An anarchist is a kind of communist that is really, really awesome. And that will be a different topic. But I am a communist, and I was against Marcos at the time, and for a long time, and I'm still against Ferdinand Marcos until now. But the president now is not Ferdinand Marcos. And I was taught in UP to be critical, to be a critical thinker, and to only judge a person after you have seen his own merits. So you have to allow these things. You have to allow him to be president and judge him when he's done. And say that he is a criminal when he commits a crime. When there are facts that would support it, that would convict him in court. Otherwise, you are the liar.
You prejudge.
You are the liar.
You prejudge someone. Di ba sabi sa ating mga napag-aralan sa Catholic schools natin, ako galing din ng Catholic school, huwag tayong mahusga, huwag tayong mambintang, di ba, why don't you apply to your own teachings, to your own story? Saka yung mga Project 1, Project 2, Project 3, Project 4, Project 5, Project 6, Project 7, Project 8, dito sa Quezon City, ang dami-dami yung Marcos.
Kanina yung benefits.
Yung mga bahay nyo, ba tayo yan?
Benefits.
So, nandito sa mga bliss, mga ganun, sino kasi milita na patayin niya mga yan? So, mga guys, ganito na
read and learn.
Read, learn.
Justify your own beliefs in what you think now is learning to you from now on.
Yes. So yun yung challenge namin this Thursday. And hopefully, kayo na mga tahimik lang, nagpupunwari lang na leni-leni. Alam mo yun, bigyan namin kayo ng konting informasyon na magagamit nyo sa inyong mga conversations.
There is nothing wrong with doing that.
Alam niyo po, we have been sold a lie. We have been lied to by our teachers, our parents, not because they wanted to, but because they were also sold a lie. Alam niyo, nanganganak ang kasinungalingan. And in more ways than one, mas nagpe-perpetuate at mas nabubuhay sa mundo ng informasyon ang sinungalingan rather than
kapag tahimik ka.
So, susunod na programa.
In the heart of business.
Yes.
In the heart
of business. Kasama nito mga si Jose. Yeah, okay. So, mga kaibigan, I hope naging masayang Thursday. So, ito si JP Varela, kasama si Ernie. Awesome. Bye!
Tambayan sa DWIZ.